Double digits, day 10. This is insane. I used to do things like watch movies and read for fun, but now I just make YouTube videos. And I'm not super complaining, but like I've been wanting to watch Tenet for a while, and it's just not. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. All right, hey everybody. So we're going to talk about mood and culture and factions today within our world of Endigar. If you're just joining me for the first time, this is a series where I make a campaign setting in 30 days. We're on day 10. There's a link in the corner and in the description below to many of things, including a playlist of this entire series. Also, a Discord link where you can join the Jordan Jocular Junction, where we talk about a lot of different games and have a lot of fun. That is new, and we're enjoying it. So if you'd like to join the Discord, links are down below. I would love to have you join. And if you want to see all of the things that I'm working on, Patreon's a good way to do it. But let's dive in further with the Endigar. Okay, so here we are. This is another tricky one with mood and culture is day 10. And what this exercise is asking us to do is to go back through our previous exercises and just kind of write an X down on everything that's not fitting the mood that we want. And I like this is a good exercise, don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to think of focusing on mood. I think is difficult for a campaign setting because this is more of something that a DM wants to do. Like I might want to run a really goofy Ravenloft game, and you can do that. Or you might want to run a really dark and gritty Out of the Abyss game. Or maybe you want a farcical Shadowfell game. Like, it's kind of how your players and you, what together you want to make the story. So me saying I want to change the mood of how you, the DM who's, using this campaign setting, that doesn't feel right. But this does feel right for me to do it. If I was going to run a game, I would establish like these are the events that I want to capitalize on to establish that mood. So mood and setting, mood and culture. Haha! I knew it. I knew it from the very beginning. And over here, we did cosmology, and this is which faction in your world is feared and reviled. So let's talk about factions. Factions. It was under campaign info. So here under factions, we'll do a gallery view so we can see everything that we want. I made just an introduction thing here, or just to write some out. So the Quadrivium, that's a faction, and the people that are associated with the Quadrivium, like Pact Keepers and things like that. Elves of the Forest, which I had an epiphany the other day, today actually, that I don't necessarily, Elves of the Forest that's just elves for everywhere. I think it would be cool if the elves who fled the Feywild went to the forest and then were pushed to the desert next door. And so maybe all of our elves are desert elves. And I realized that 200 years is not a long time to an elf. So we need to come up with something further back that would allow the elves to have this change of being desert elves. But I like the idea of desert elves, and then we could involve some like elven desert sand magic. And then I can fulfill my wish by playing a witch, an elf witch who controls sand, and I will be a sand witch. I'm here all week. Try the veal. The Elves of the Forest, dwarves under the ground. The Anti-Four, the rebellion against the Quadrivium. This needs a name though. So, like Star Wars, you have the rebellion, and I need the people who are against the Quadrivium and who are against Domitica and all that whole thing. I need a name for them. So maybe we'll come up with that. A merchant guild, a magic item sweat shop owners. These are the people that are earning money through the indentured servitude of these wizards and stuff. And so they're using them for profit. War is profitable. They're war people. I wrote down slaves because orcs, minotaurs, and goblins, I think they're going to be viewed as lower than humans. Humans are going to look at them, you're not as good as us, which is not the case. But so this isn't really a faction. This is just kind of a situation. And then these could also be part of the rebellion and things like that. So I think that's not necessarily going to be a faction, but maybe like the Goblin Uprising would be better. So where goblins no longer want to establish a city for themselves or something like that. We have Cult of the Three Sisters, which are the people who follow the kindly ones, which are the Furies. And they are these three deity power-esque creatures that punish crimes and oaths breakers and murderers and things like that. So very good. Cult of the Three Sisters. Cult of Dalaranth, the Death Lord, who's the dragon. And then I think I had, Cult of the Yellow Robe, which is going to be the people that follow, and I can just, Cult of the Yellow, these are the people that think that if we look within, like below the ethereal, that is where we will find truth. But maybe there's just madness. Or there's the people that worship insanity. These are the Tharsden cult, basically. But yeah. The Quadrivium are not necessarily the same as Pact Keepers. So I'm going to put those... I'm going to put that in there as well. And then, and the Whispering Army. I forgot about that. Oh, we got lots of stuff here. Okay, so let's open this as a new page. And you can't see this, but I'm going to move this over here so I can see it. And then from here, we'll create some new stuff. So first of all, Quadrivium. Quadrivium is the name of the 4 demigods that control Endegar. So that's our 4 big baddies. And the people that worship them or follow their rules, they are, for lack of a better term, like the government. They control Endegar and this realm of Endegar. The 4 are the powerful creatures, the greater powers that you are more likely to make a pact with. Not you, but people seeking power are more likely to make a pact with. And that is Asmodeus, the Fiend, Baba Yaga, the Fae, Orcus, the Death, and Golgoroth, the Chaos. So they refer to them as this. So it's like, I've made a pact with the Fiend, or I've made a pact with the Death. Like, they have that title, and I like that. Cult of the Three Sisters. This is another faction, and we talked about it earlier. It's going to be a cult that believes balance in the world can be achieved if liars, thieves, and murderers are punished. For every moral crime committed by an individual, that individual must be punished in a way fitting, and it is not up to peers or a jury, but the Three Sisters. So it's not, you punch me in the face, I get to punch you back. It's more, I want it to be more complicated than that. And perhaps there are people that pray and try to interpret the will of the sisters. And so this could be fun because, and I say Cult of the Three Sisters, and I want to change it to maybe Church of the Three Sisters or something, but they could very well be like, hey, we're for justice and we're for this and we're for that. But it's this absolute that has no gray, which can ultimately cause more evil, which is probably what evil beings are thriving on. So I like that. Cult of the Yellow Robe, a cult that worships and seeks advice from the far realm. They often talk of the King in Yellow or Hastur. They apparently get guidance from him, but nobody really knows where. Their prophet is Demonidas, who dug deep into Endegar and visited the Far Realm. He returned mad, but was eager to share that madness with others. And Demonidas is one of the Quadrivium. So I'm going to write that down just so we all know it. Demonidas is one of the Quadrivium. The yellow sign is an eerie symbol, and they'll ask each other, have you found the yellow sign? And this all comes from a book called The King in Yellow, that is public domain, and it is full of short stories. I read the first 3 short stories. They're fun. It's like the original like psychological horror that Lovecraft kind of was inspired from. And what's interesting is that he refers to a play called The King in Yellow, and these performers are doing this, and so it's a weird prop within all of these different short stories, but the prop pops up, and so there's this, and it's just cool, and there's lots of people doing cool artwork for it. So I love that, like The King in Yellow. It sounds really cool. So, and there's some really cool art. Pact Keepers. Pact Keepers are followers of Domitica. They have magical powers from items bound with fiendish and elemental creatures. I think of them as stormtrooper is a bad word, but like the military police, stormtroopers, they're in cities, making sure people stay in their place, no uprisings and things like that. And I liked this picture because I want them to have grafted on fiendish parts. So part of becoming a Pact Keeper, when you get to a certain level of Pact Keeper warlockness, is we're going to amputate your arm, but we're going to graft on like a demon arm. And now you have even more power, but like you're really just slowly getting more corrupted. Not even slowly, you're just quickly getting more corrupted at that point. But the ones who want quick and easy power, this is where they will go. The Whispering Army, this just was cool. And I thought it would be fun to have an order of necromancers. Their academies are located near graveyards. I don't know anything any more than this, but I like the idea of an order of necromancers called the Whispering Army. So I want to put that in here as well. And this could just be something that pops up later. And sadly, I think I cut it out from the video yesterday, because that video ended up being like 45 minutes long because I just rambled for so long, so I cut it. But I was talking about, I'll recap it here. I was talking about vibrations and magic, and specifically healing magic. Specifically necromantic magic, in the sense of clerics use necromancy to return a spirit to its body. And so there is this weird, like there's good necromancy and there's bad necromancy. And if we want to extrapolate on the foundational pieces in the player's handbook, let's say that True Resurrection is necromancy, but so is Animate Dead. What's the difference between those spells? You're both animating something. Well, if a creature has its own vibrational frequency in tune with the magic vibrations of the world, when they die, that vibration is gone. And that's the same as like a soul left. But in Endegar, it's you're no longer alive because you're not moving, you're not vibrating. The heat death of the universe has taken your body. And so the act of necromancy is restoring vibrations to a object or something that once had vibrations. So if I die and then they cast True Resurrection, that's a very complex and high level spell, because you need to match the frequency vibration of magical energy into that body to resurrect it as a whole. And the spirit has to be willing and things like that. But on a lesser note, I could just animate it, and like I can throw any vibrational whatever in it, and that's where you get zombies and undead creatures. And a lich is something that has managed to die, but also keep its vibrational energies going in a way. And I don't know, it all kind of just lined up and I liked it. Lined up and I liked it. And then I talked about the clone spell, where if you clone yourself in the realm of Dungeons & Dragons, if two clones wake up, they immediately know about each other and they want to kill the other. And I like that because if you are thinking of it in vibrational terms, you have two clones that wake up, or a regular and a clone, and their vibrations are the same. So they know of each other because they're on that same frequency, that same wavelength in a way. And they want the other one to die because it's just like there can only be one and you're interfering with my static or my frequency, and I don't like that. And so it kind of just made clone and resurrection and animate dead why they all are necromantic spells, because that's the act of these of animating things with vibrational magic kind of thing. So then I was like, hey, we need to have a necromancy, an order of necromancers. And maybe this could be an army that somebody employs or something. I don't know. So here in my scratch/miscellaneous thoughts file, I have some names for nations and empires that I want to use at some point. So these are just these could be, nations and stuff. And I kind of generated these from up above here, where I went to the Smithsonian. What is this? I forget. It's been a while. Oh, so yeah, nomenclature for just a list of names of stuff. And I went to like a random like P here, and it loads a PDF. And you can go through and just kind of find like, okay, I don't know. Let's see here. Here, I'll zoom in. And because you want things that sound sort of similar, but you don't really know, but like Pegmania. I don't really know what this is, but I like, Pegmania could be, that could be the name of that island down there, off the coast of the thing. That could also be, you've caught the Pegmania. Like, so, this, and I can put a link to this stuff in, the down below, but like this was very useful, and it's just really, really old stuff from the Smithsonian. So this really quick is a video that I found on Facebook, and it kind of illustrates the idea of vibrations as magic. So this is a metal thing, and this gentleman, and I don't want to turn on the volume because I'll probably get copyright flagged, but he's creating vibrations with the sound of this, and it's organizing the sand that he put on into patterns. And this was a huge inspiration for me, just because, like, I don't know, it visually showed people what I was trying to explain verbally, that you can use vibrations to create art, and perhaps magic is that, understanding these vibrations. So the person who understands music might not know that they make this shape, but the person who understands math might not understand the music that they create, but they do the same thing. So that's where we get the bard, the sorcerer versus the wizard. You know, does that make sense? So I can also link this video down below, and it's interesting. It's really cool. All right, everybody. I think that's what I wanted to accomplish today, which means that we are in the double digits. So tomorrow will be December 11th. I need to get some Christmas presents wrapped. So I think my homework for tomorrow, if I don't get too wrapped up with work, is I need to really figure out the quadrivium, and I want to work on that timetable so we understand where we're coming from in the current situation. I also am going to look at all of my various empires that I created and the words for them, and I'm gonna print out the map, I think, and I'm just gonna draw with a Sharpie, like, goes here, it's gonna be awesome, so that I know where to divide lines and stuff. So look forward to that tomorrow. Thank you for subscribing and sharing this with your friends. I hope you're not sharing this one, but rather the first one or the beginning of the playlist. Again, check out the Discord, check out my Patreon. We got a lot of new patrons lately, and I want to say thank you for supporting me during the crazy 2020. That means an awful lot. And if you're brand new here, I normally don't do this. I make videos on D&D lore where you don't see my face. So you're welcome, but you could stay for the other. Go to my homepage and the thing. There's lots of playlists to run through. Take care, everybody.